Hey guys, what's going on? So I listened to this YouTuber the other day and he was talking about, how YouTube was different back in the day, how it was like more genuine, more authentic. And I'm pretty sure you've heard it, 1,000 times, but me personally, I never really like truly sat down and noticed just how different YouTube is in 2025 than it was back in like 2016, 2017. And nowadays I'm starting to feel like YouTube isn't as fun as it used to be. Like, and I'm not talking about like just the ads or yeah, the overly long ads or maybe even the authenticity of content creators nowadays. I think maybe it's become too much like cable TV where everything is like overly polished and like overly edited. And I'm not referring to like I'm not just talking about like Mr. Beast in particular, but just, maybe Mr. Beast and like his copycats. At no fault to him, of course, but like, we live in a post Mr. Beast era where a lot of people do have like overly edited, overly polished videos that are looking like damn near Hollywood movie productions. And I guess I took like a little trip down memory lane and kind of noticed that yeah, YouTube has become way too polished. Like it's like watching cable TV, and that's what made YouTube better than cable TV, at least when I was growing up, because I used to like watch YouTube a lot back in high school. And one thing I hate about cable TV, it was that it just felt, it felt too high maintenance, and it just seemed boring. And YouTube was like, what was the tagline? Broadcast yourself. And it's like, you would have, low productions. Like the videos were good. I mean, they weren't like high quality nowadays, Like back when we thought 720p was like really good quality back in the day. But no, it's like, it was bad quality, but it was like authenticity with it. It was very genuine. It was, it's like you could just feel the passion behind a lot of the videos back in the day. Whether there were skits or whether there were game videos on games or just shooting the shit, just talking about anything or story times or vlogs. But nowadays it's like it's way too polished. It's way too corporate. And it's kind of funny though because my girlfriend said that like months ago, but I guess I never really thought about it. Like she did mention that YouTube. Well, she really just said that YouTube is not like as YouTube is boring. It's not as good as it used to be, and she didn't like really delve into it. But then when I watched this YouTuber, he like really like described it and talked about it and really compared today versus back then. I was like, oh wow. And I don't know, yeah, it's just YouTube is just really boring nowadays. And it's kind of sad. And it's really ironic to say that while I'm on the platform. That's like going to someone's house, complaining about their cooking while in their house and still eating their food. The irony is not lost. But I don't know, yeah, it's way too much polish behind it. It just doesn't feel real anymore. And if it's not like the overly polished editing to like, be family friendly for sponsors in order to make money, it's the flashy editing that I really hate. The editing where videos try to grab your attention within the first 5 seconds of a video, and it's like with like loud edits, a lot of sound effects, unnecessary memes where they don't need to be placed. Like it's too early on. It's not. It's like it feels like brain rot. And I really do feel bad for a lot of people who enjoy content, who enjoy YouTube or social media in general. And it's like it just sucks. I feel like an old man who's like complaining about cartoons nowadays, where like, oh, cartoons back in my day were actually meant something. Like, they actually had clever jokes and good writing, like Teen Titans. And nowadays you got Teen Titans Go, or I remember growing up with OG SpongeBob, which was really good and clever. But now you got slop like the Patrick Star Show and Camp Coral. And yeah, I feel like an unk right now, and it kind of sucks. I'm not even gonna give my age because then that's just gonna that's just gonna even further my point of sound like an old man. But yeah, it kind of sucks, and I hate that YouTube has become this pish posh, overly polished company where there's lack of passion behind it. And it's like as long as you're family friendly and incorporating these sponsors, then the main goal is to just make money and not actually like enjoy what you're doing. And it really sucks. I think I mentioned in a previous video that like a lot of content creators back in the day started making content because they enjoyed it, and it was a lot more niche. It was probably something that you would most likely get teased for back in school, like back like when you would watch anime. But yeah, you would, it was a lot more niche, and you did it because it was fun, and getting paid eventually was like, a bonus. But nowadays in 2025, and especially in the last couple of years, it's like people just do content creation just for the sake of money, and it's like it kind of sucks. Yeah, it's so boring and bland, And I don't know how long YouTube is going to be pushing these kind of videos where it's just how everything has to be family friendly. It's like I just don't understand the logic behind it, because it's like, you're going to make money regardless because you're YouTube, but it's like, how much money can you make to the point that you are a former shell of yourself? You are just a hollow entity. You're no longer YouTube. You're just a corporation, and that's things we really do hate as society, is when corporations take over creativity. And I don't know. It just it does suck. Like I want to go into why it even sucks to try to even become a YouTuber nowadays. I think I touched on that in the last video. I might touch further on in the next video of like how it seems like it's harder to become a YouTuber nowadays than it was back in the day. But I don't know, I'm not really sure. But I just wanted to talk about just the main difference. Like it's ridiculous how much has changed. And I don't know if it's like, well, it's because of sponsors, you gotta make money and stuff like that. But it just sucks. It just siphons the creativity out of everything. Like I do still find a couple of creators that, don't care. And some creators actively don't take sponsorships because they don't want to be put into a box where they can't express how they feel. Like I'm not saying like, I'm not saying like crazy takes like, oh, you support the Holocaust, or Hitler was right. Like I'm not saying that. That's some crazy takes to say. But it's like nowadays you can't say or do anything without you risk of losing an audience or losing views or getting kicked out of the so-called algorithm. And it's really depressing. Like you can't even be yourself anymore. Like, does YouTube even use the slogan broadcast yourself anymore? I doubt it. And I don't know. And I guess it's because everyone wants to be a content creator so much that this is the reason why everything has to be so professional and polite and polished. Yeah, I'm starting to think that. I don't know. It kind of sucks. But I just wanted to share some of that because I don't know, I just had to vent. I just had to like get some of that off my chest because it's like I want to go back to old YouTube where where you could go and just talk about anything, and you just happen to gather an audience to just who also enjoy discussing certain topics that you also enjoy. Use a community base. But now it's like for instance, like when I'm pretty sure you've heard this in passing, but I haven't really noticed until recently. But like my videos, like the videos that that I watch, a lot of the creators that I be actively watching, I don't always get notified of their videos, but I get notified of random videos. I get notified. I don't get notified of the YouTubers that I watch until like maybe like a day or two after they upload it. But then I would keep getting random notifications from YouTubers I've never even heard of, saying that they upload a video or they upload a short. It's like, I don't know who they are. Why would I care? Why don't you just upload? Why don't you just let me know the people that I'm subscribed to? Let me know when they upload, and I'd be good. But then you keep giving me these random videos that I'm not interested in watching, and I think that like honestly, I think that's kind of like what kills my videos, my traction, is because I keep getting recommended to videos I'm not even interested in, and that sucks. So I'm pretty sure that's why a lot of my videos don't do particularly well. But that's another video for another story for another day. But yeah, no, it's just I do get tired of that, and it's like I get YouTube wants you to stay on the platform as long as possible because the more engagement, the more money they make, and it's like that's cool. The more you're on the platform, the more ads they can put on, the more money they can make, and like I said, that's great. More power to you if that's how you make your money. But when you keep uploading, providing videos that have no connection to it, just defeats the purpose. Like, how can I stay on something that I'm not interested in? And then you're hurting whoever, whatever channel that you're recommending, you're hurting their channel because no one's gonna be watching something they're not interested in the first place. Like most of the videos I watch revolve around video games and funny skits. Why am I getting videos on gardening tools? Like I don't understand. You don't see that in my search bar. Also, this is kind of weird. again, I watch videos on games and skits. Why am I getting ads on male enhancement pills? Why am I getting ads on how to regrow my hair? Like I can't, like I get it. I'm getting up there in age, but like I don't have those problems. So why are you giving me these? What? Like I got a couple ads on video games recently. I'm not gonna lie, I was genuinely happy that I got those ads because it's like, thank you, is actually ads I'm actually interested in, that I may be interested in, because it revolves around what I watch. So stop sending me weird ads on male enhancement pills on how to be better in bed or medication, whatever, to make my hair grow thicker. I'm good. I'm okay. I work well down there and I have a head full of hair. You don't have to give me this weird stuff, YouTube. It's so weird and so backwards. But yeah, tell me what you guys think. Is it something that you've noticed before, or you just now noticing now that people like really starting to talk about it? Anyway, I'm not really sure how to end this video. So take care.